Hi, we're going to be playing some Dredge today. So we start out with this cutscene here that you can escape from, as it tells you in the bottom right here. So we see that we're responding to an ad for an angler, and this is the one and only time we see ourselves. That's presumably us. But then we crash our boat into some rocks at the base of this lighthouse here. And that marks the end of the cutscene. So then we wake up the next day, presumably, and we're on this dock here, and we meet this guy called the mayor. Okay, so we just click through this with the right mouse click here. So he basically says, well done for crashing your boat, and it was destroyed, so here's another one that you can go fishing with, go out fishing, come back, and I'll talk to you later. So that's all that this conversation says here. All right, as far as key bindings here, we've got the tab key up there, and you've got cargo and cabin. So the cargo kind of shows the space you have in your hold, where you put all your engines. Engines go down here, lights here, and rods and nets either side here. And we can get this bigger as the game goes on, but at the moment, and also any fish we catch have to be squeezed into here as well. But we can make it bigger over time, but this is what we're restricted to at the beginning of the game. And then cabin, we've got these pursuits. This will kind of fill up over time. These are our mini quests. Now, he just asked us to go catch some fish for the day, so that's the little mini quest there. And we also have this one, the Pale Reach, but that's DLC, which you may or may not have. So here's our map. Now, these are the 5 core regions. So we start out in the Marrows here, and the start of the game is probably about 8 days. So what I'm going to do is break it into 2 episodes. First episode, it's going to be the first 4 days, and then the second one will be days 5 through 8 or 9, depending on how long it takes us to get through the initial stages, at which point we can decide where to go next. And if you just right mouse click, hold and drag down, that's the Pale Reach, which is the DLC, which you may or may not have. Encyclopedia, that shows us all the different types of fish, of which there are 174, but that includes mutations. For example, this fish here has 3 different types of mutations, so that counts as 4 fish there out of the 174. These are the different types of fish: coastal, shallow, oceanic, etc. And if we just go back to tab, right now we can only catch coastal fish. We can't catch any of the other types, but we can expand on that later on in the game. Messages, these are kind of bottles that you pick up around the place, which just gives you a few stories, which is part of the lore. It doesn't really contribute to the gameplay in any way. So this is all just information only in this part. That's map, pursuits, encyclopedia, and bookshelf here. We'll be getting books along the way, which we can read, which will give us various skills, but right now we don't have any. All right. Now, top right, we've got this clock here, 06 a.m. And that's when the day starts. Now, at the moment, it's not moving, so we can undock here, and it still doesn't move until we actually start moving with the boat. Then that stays at 6 o'clock. So that's basically it. The only other key that we need to be aware of is the E key, and if you hold E, now you get various things through the game. Most of them are locked at the moment, but we do have light, foghorn, and spyglass. So if you left mouse click on light, right mouse click turns it off and on. There's your horn, right mouse click again. And there's our spyglass, so right mouse click. And you can see quite a distance to see what types of fish are available. So for example, there's a shallow one. We can only catch coastal at the moment, hence the red cross. So let's get going. So all we can do on the first day is just get out there and fish. There's a bunch of spots here, kind of located by the bubbles on the water. I don't think it really matters which fishing spot we go to. Maybe there's a most efficient way to do this, but I'm not aware of it. So I'm just going to start at this one here and then move on to that one on the right, because I know that we can pretty much fill up the boat there. As you can see, we're really slow at the moment. So to fish, you just press F, and then you need to hit these green boxes here, which speeds up the reeling. And if you miss the green boxes, it just slows down the reeling. So it's just a speed issue there. It's a lot of time management. And as you see, it's kind of a Tetris thing going on there. Fitting the fish in. So not much more we can do today. Just keep fishing, try and fill up our hold as much best we can. And we will get back around nighttime. So let's do that. So this spot has been depleted. Let's just move on to this one. Yeah, until we start upgrading our engines, which we can actually do quite quickly, then we are very slow. But this will only last a day or two, at which point we'll be getting faster. Now that yellow box there, that just tells us that we caught a trophy. All a trophy is just a larger fish, and the price that we get depends on the size of the fish. So that just means a little bit more money, which we like. Because all the fish we are catching here are different sizes, and so we get a different amount for each of them. Okay, so that's fished out. So you can see we're coming in on about 5 o'clock. Now it's 6 p.m. That's when all the daytime fishing spots disappear and the nighttime ones appear, as we'll see in a moment. So you get a nighttime one, so we're after 6 o'clock now. So this is now a nighttime fishing spot right here. These squid. So we could actually drop these fish off and we could actually go back and pick up a few squid. I'm not going to do that because I know that we're going to need a couple of squid for one of the little mini quests coming up. I'm just going to leave that alone rather than fish it out. So as soon as we get back, we meet the mayor again and he introduces us to the fishmonger. But he also says that the boat he gave us, we're going to have to pay him for that. And that that's a debt that we're going to have to repay with our early sales. We just say, okay, we'll repay you over time. So we've got to pay him back $50 there. So we go to the fishmonger. Now go through a little bit of chit-chat here. And again, it doesn't matter what we say. He basically just says, I'll buy your fish, which is what he's about to do. So down here we can sell off everything here for the F key, and that takes us to here. And then we're back to the mayor. So we just paid off a little bit of our debt and he gave us this research part here, which we'll take off him. And then he introduces us to the shipwright. Now she's the one who, if we get any damage to our boat, then she'll fix it for us. But also she sells a bunch of stuff, which is basically all she's telling us here. I'll fix your boat up at a cost, and I can sell you a bunch of things, which we will see in a moment. So the things that she can sell us are various rods. So at the moment we've only got this one rod here, and we're restricted to coastal fish. But we can buy a skimmer here, or a weighted line. Now both of those would allow us to catch shallow fish. And we're going to need one of those tomorrow, actually. So we're kind of got a choice here. I'm going to buy the cheaper one just because it is cheaper. But also we're going to be getting rid of these rods pretty quickly. So we're only going to be using them for a day or two. So I'm not going to bother with the more expensive one. But also that takes up an extra square there, which we could use with fish. So a bit of a choice there, but I'm going to go cheaper. But we can also upgrade our engines. So you see we've got room for another engine here. At the moment we're restricted to this 14 knots. We could buy another engine here and give us an extra 10 knots there. Nets not available. Lights. We could buy lights. I'm not going to bother with lights in the first, at the start of the game. Because these help manage panic. And we'll see that mechanism come up a little bit later. But you could just manage panic by not being out at nighttime, and we'll do it that way instead. Now here you've also got the research. This is where you do all the research into upgrading your rods, engines, pots, etc. So you have to complete this research before the shipwright will sell you something. So for example, we can if we invest our one research part into this only takes one, which we will do. Then if we go back to the shipwright, we'll see that she now has that for sale. If we go to her engines, and there it is right there. Now we can't afford it at the moment, but that's one of the first things that we're going to buy as soon as we can. All right, so not much more we can do now. If we go to the fishmonger, he's just in general chit chat until tomorrow morning. Now, if we press rest, then it takes us through to 6 a.m., which is the start of the day, and then it automatically stops. But we don't want to go that far. So ideally, we want to get to about 3:30. So we're going to click on here, and then press the X button, and aim for about 3:30. There you go. Now if you go to the fishmonger, he starts to give us these little special orders, as he calls them. So tell me about that order. So he wants 1 Gulf flounder and 1 grey eel. So we have to go out, bring 2 of those back. And this is why we bought the rod that can handle shallow water fish, which we've now got. Alright, now when we get back, his next little mini quest is going to be to ask for some nighttime fish, which you can only catch between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Because we're going to be getting out before 6 a.m., we can actually make a start on that. So that's what we're going to do. So anyway, X to disengage, and let's get going. We're still definitely slow, but nothing we can do about that. Now he's going to ask us for a couple of squid. Remember, squid were right there. But we're not going to pick those up right now, but this is going to be one of the other fish that he asks for. One of the other nighttime fish, that is. Let's just grab this one. So 540. So that's depleted, so there's nothing more we can do there anyway. So 6 a.m. this is where the daytime fish appear, as it just did. So this is one of the fish that he asked for. That's a flounder. So we're just going to pick a few of these up. And the other fish he wanted was an eel. So let's go grab an eel. The eel straight ahead there. Now these are 3 bars long. And we've got room for 2 of these. There's 1. Missed. 2. Okay, we can't squeeze another one in. But we do have room for cod, and we can get a cod here. And while we're out, we may as well get as many fish as we can, because the more fish, the more money. Alright, we get another fish in here. There's 2 bars, and these are 2 bars here. Let's do that. Right, that's as full as we can get. So let's get back and meet that special order that he had. Now, if you remember, he did say at some point he pays over the odds for the special orders. So he actually pays 50% more than normal for the special orders. So we want to put a Gulf flounder in there. We want to put our biggest one because the biggest ones get the most money, and we're getting an extra 50% on this. So let's give him our more expensive ones, 52.6. So those 2. So that got us $54. So this is where he gives us the nighttime order: a couple of squid and a whole black grouper. They only feed at night. Do you have any fish for that order? Yes, we do, which is why we went out before 6 a.m. this morning. So we just need a couple of squid, which we'll pick up later on today. And then that's that one as well. So let's just sell off that load, and then we can get out fishing again. So let's do that. So there's really not much more that we can do at the moment. We just have to meet that nighttime order. So as mentioned, we are deathly slow here, but we'll be able to do something about that relatively soon. So that's fished out. So we're rapidly coming up to 6 here. Yeah, we can stay out after 6 p.m. No problem, but the later it gets, once you get to about 9-10 p.m., then fog starts to roll in. And we have this panic mechanism as well. And the more you get panicked, then bad things start to happen. Monsters start appearing out of the sea, attacking your boat and stuff. But yeah, bad things happen. So you don't want to be out at nighttime too long. So our panic is, if you look at that eye there, it starts out kind of green and blue, which is the low level of panic. And then it changes color as your panic increases, which we are likely to see in a minute. Because the next color is going to be brown. So blue is the lowest level, then it goes to green, I think. Something like that. But until we see brown, then we remain at a low level of panic, which is no problem. I think I mentioned earlier that you can buy light, and the lights help to reduce your panic. But at this stage, because we're not spending long periods of nighttime away from base, then we're not a problem. So now we've got the 2 squid that he wanted for his nighttime order. Now again, he's giving us a 50% bonus on these, so we want to pick our biggest ones. 22, 22.4, 22.8, 25, 27. So it's that one and that one. Those are the 2 biggest ones. So we've got 102 for that. Nice. So we sell this off and you should be at around 400 at this stage. Okay, we're back to the mayor again, so we've just paid off our debt. Then he opens up this additional facility here, which we'll see in a moment, called the dry dock. Now, we can't go dredging yet because we don't have the ability to do that, but once we do have dredging facilities, which we'll get soon, then she just tells us that once you can dredge, you can start to go looking for these things here, which is basically metal scraps, bolts of cloth, and lumber. And once you find it, you place it into these spots here. And then you can purchase an upgrade for 95, and that will, in this case, give us 2 extra rod spaces there. With this one, it would give us these 4 spaces for nets. Again, you've got to find 2 bolts of cloth and a piece of lumber here, and then pay for the upgrade. This one requires 2 metal, etc., and 100. And that would give us 2 extra engine slots. So, where are we? We did, going back to research, we did invest in this engine here, which is now for sale, and we can afford it. So let's do that. Because we're rolling around at the moment at 14 knots, and if we buy this extra engine here, that's going to give us an extra 15 knots, which is going to put us up to 29, which is a big step up from where we were. We'll see the difference tomorrow. Now, this woman's approached, she doesn't really contribute to the gameplay, a bit of chit-chat. She doesn't matter what you say here. Seems like she's just mistaking us for somebody else, presumably the previous fisherman. And then back to the mayor. So at this stage, he asks us to go over the way to Little Marrow, which is the other side of the bay here, and deliver that package, which is what we'll do. That's part of that's our next mini quest, which we will do again. So Fishmonger's got nothing to give us more. Oh yes, he does. Crab pots. I thought that was tomorrow morning, but maybe not. So he gives us this crab pot. Now this actually does require some repair. Sorry, slight pause there. Back again. So that one does actually require some repair. So let's continue. So he gives us another little mini quest here, a fiddler crab and a common crab. Okay. And he also sells us more crab pots if we want them. So we're going to take a couple more. We can only afford 2. Now this one needs repair, only lasts for 2 days. The new ones will last for 3 days. Okay, so we can go to the shipwright, because remember that she will repair things at a cost. And in this case, it's 750 to repair that pot. So let's do that. All right, so that's it for the end of day 3, or rather the end of day 2, isn't it? Start of day 3, where we've got that package to deliver to Little Morrow, and we've got those crab pots to put down. So let's go through to 3:30 again. A bit late. All right, let's get going. All right, so crab pots. All you need to do here is go E onto crab pot, and then you right mouse click. And that drops them. And you look in the bottom left there, you're dropping them at 1.6, and there are plenty of crabs, which is what we want. But meantime, let's just get over, deliver that package. As you can see, we're moving much better than we were the last couple of days. And we'll get faster again. So meantime, let's just drop off this package. So the dock worker, I guess this little mini quest, purpose of it is just to get us to investigate and discover this place. We only get $25 out of it, but we also get an old book which he gives us called Sustainable Fishing, which is added to the cabin. So with books, you just want to go to the tab up here, and you go to the cabin, and you look under the bookshelf, and there it is. All you need to do is left mouse click on this, it turns yellow. Now this auto reads in the background. There's nothing we need to do, we just leave it, and it will complete in its own time. Right, and that's that done. The only other thing here is you've got access to your storage. You can access your storage from all over the map, so that's just a general thing. And you've got the trader here. Now this is the only guy in the game who will buy things like rings, earrings, or any other little, as he said, baubles that you come across. Right now we don't have anything. So if we get any sellables other than fish, we have to come to this guy. He's the only person who will buy them. But we don't have anything to sell today. So let's get back out fishing. So we've got that crab order that we need to meet, but there's nothing more that we can do other than just wait for the crab to arrive. So that's just kind of a luck thing. But meantime, all we can do is just keep catching some fish, get some more money rolling in, and so that's what we'll do. Been fished out. Ah, missed it again. Okay, that one's fished out. So do we have room for one of these? Yes, we do. That's been depleted. So I'm not seeing where we can fit any in here. Okay, let's move on. So have the crab pots delivered yet? No, I think you have to wait till the morning of the next day to be able to meet the, or maybe the end of this day. Not entirely sure, but all we can do at this stage is keep fishing and wait. So that's what we'll do. Oh, he's just given us another book, but we have to finish reading the other one first, so we'll do that. It's another 100. Alright. Well, we've got to wait for the crabs to deliver, so what I'm going to do is just head around the corner here. So we've got 3 p.m. So it's going to be nighttime quite soon. Got off a little bit later than ideally this morning. But I just want to come around the corner to this little wreck here. This gives us a few decent things. So all that's left of this boat is an old husk. Look inside, and you've got a couple of pieces of lumber here. So that's going to contribute to upgrading some of the areas of the boat later on. All right, coming up to 6 o'clock. We can do a little bit of fishing, but then we should get back before it's too late. Finally got one. Okay, 92.4 versus 8, so not a lot bigger. Alright, but it is quite late. Our panic is still low, so we're okay. Just gonna be greedy and grab one more fish here. Ah, but do we have space? We can use this over here to move things around. We should do... Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's get home before the panic kicks up. As mentioned, a lot of bad things start to happen once you start panicking. Now, have the crab pots? Yes, they have. Let's just drop this off first. If you pick it up like this and then you just press the middle mouse button, it just dumps it into storage, which is what we're going to do. Alright, now the next bit is just luck, and that is whether we've got the 2 crabs that we need. We saw one of them, but do we have both? Okay, last chance. Yes, we do. Okay, that's just luck. You sometimes have to wait an extra day or so. So I heard that boat out there, which is actually a sea monster. So you want to stay away from that guy. Where is he? I'm not seeing him. Alright, anyway, let's just deliver up our crabs here. So we've got the things that you wanted, and given the most expensive one again, 17.3. This is the bigger one. Get an extra 50%. Alright. There's nothing more we can do with him right now, or the shipwright. So all we can do is go through to the morning now, and I think the next stage is just finding a mutated something. And that sets off a whole new exchange with the fishmonger. So let's go through to 3:30. Okay, that's good enough. So now I think until we find a mutation, there's not much more we can do. Very often the first mutation we find comes from the crab pots. But not one right now. So all we can do is go out, keep fishing, until we find a mutation. Right, so that's the nighttime fishing done. Missed it. So, there's our mutation. Oh no, sorry, that was, I was going by the sound there. The sound was just, you haven't caught one of these types of fish before. You'll know it's a mutation when you see, well, there's our book finished. So we can't fit any more of these in unless we move things around. Yes, we can do that, but we're fished out. We're still hoping that we come across a mutation. Get anything else in? No, looking a bit tight. So let's just sell this off and go out fishing again. Because until we get that mutation, we can't move on. It should show up today. They normally do quite quickly. And as mentioned, very often they show up in the crab pots first. No joy there. Let's just stick on this spot here. See if it delivers for us. The 5:39, we're coming into the nighttime fishing very soon. That's right away. So no squid to be had. Alright, let's just do this spot here and then head home. How much room do we have? Not a lot, actually. Alright, let's head back. Could have dropped those crab off earlier. But looking at our panic at the top there, we're still green and blue, so we're okay. Crab pots, anything? No, we might have to wait till tomorrow morning for the mutation to show up. Alright, well all we can do here is sell our stuff off to the fishmonger there. Now, if we just go into research, we've only got one research part, so we can't upgrade our fishing pole just yet, so there's nothing we can do on that front. As mentioned, we're waiting around for a mutation to appear, which will kick off the fishmonger into the next stage of what we can do with him. But that will also open up our ability to start dredging, and that'll come next. But I'm going to end the episode here. That's the end of the 4th day. As I said, I'll break the start guide into 2 episodes, which will be the first 4 days. Then the next one we'll pick it up from day 5 and go through to about day 8 or 9, at which point we'll have finished with most of the core things that you can do in the Marrows that you need to do to open up a lot of facilities and skills that you need to move on. And then about day 9 we'll be in a position to choose where to go next. So hope to see you for part 2, and thanks for watching.